when my stepmother stole my inheritance. I thought I'd lost everything my late mother left behind. My brothers sided with her. My father was silent, and I was left with nothing, or so they thought. Fast forward 3 years. I now own everything they tried to take from me, and they're completely ruined. Here's how I got my revenge. Pause for 2 seconds for tension before intro CTA. If you've ever been betrayed by the people you trusted most, this story is going to hit you hard. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Script: 2-800-3000 words. Part 1. A perfect childhood shattered. 2 minutes. My name is Lucian Carter, and if you told me when I was 8 that my family would one day betray me, I wouldn't have believed you. Back then, my world was warm, safe, and full of love. My mother, Eleanor, was my anchor. She had this soft voice that could calm any storm. She used to tuck me in at night, folding little paper cranes and telling me fairy tales she'd make up on the spot. My father, James Carter, was always busy, a successful real estate developer, but when he was around, the house felt alive. Then it happened. My mother got sick, breast cancer. I still remember the night she passed away, the way the house went silent, like even the walls were mourning. I was 8 years old, and everything warm in my life vanished in one night. And that's when Vivian arrived. Vivian, my father's new wife. Beautiful, calculated, and cold. She moved into our Franklin, Pennsylvania home with her 2 kids, Chloe and Elias, my new siblings. From day one, I knew something was off. Vivian smiled in front of my dad, but treated me like an outsider the second his back was turned. She'd forget to make me dinner, hide my mother's diary, mock the paper cranes I folded. Her kids were worse. Chloe was a manipulative little princess, always finding ways to make me look bad. Elias, he was pure aggression. He once shoved me so hard into a doorframe that my lips split open, and when I cried, Vivian said I was too sensitive. And my dad, he didn't notice. Or maybe he didn't want to. He buried himself in work, leaving me trapped in a house that no longer felt like mine. I survived by clinging to the last thing my mom left me. Her diary, her words kept me going. She always wrote about integrity, resilience, and building something meaningful. Lessons I swore I'd carry with me. By age 12, I'd made a decision. I was going to leave Franklin. I worked hard in school, top of my class, every test, every project. My dream was to build sustainable communities, the kind my mom used to dream about. At 18, I got accepted into a university in Seattle. It was my escape, my ticket to freedom. Seattle was hard. I was broke, juggling classes and 2 part-time jobs. I worked mornings at a coffee shop and nights at a bookstore. But for the first time, I felt alive. I made friends. Raj, a computer science geek, and Sarah, an architecture major with a wild sense of humor. They became my chosen family. We'd stay up until 3 a.m. planning ridiculous business ideas, drawing dream houses on napkins, and talking about changing the world. And slowly, I began to believe maybe I could. For years later, I got a call. It was my dad. His voice sounded weaker than I'd ever heard. Lucian, come home. It's about the company. And about Vivian. When I returned to Franklin, the house felt colder than ever. My father had aged, his once powerful presence replaced by guilt and regret. That's when he told me everything. Vivian had been manipulating him for years. She convinced him to sign over parts of Carter Enterprises, forge documents, and siphon funds into her personal accounts. My brother and stepsister were in on it, and it got worse. After my father passed away a few months later, I discovered Vivian had altered his will. My inheritance? Gone. She left me an abandoned house in Montana, while she and her kids got everything else. I can't describe the rage I felt, the betrayal, the humiliation. But that night, while going to my father's old study, I found a hidden letter. It was addressed to me. Inside were audio recordings and bank documents proving Vivian's fraud. That's when I made my decision. They wanted to destroy me? Fine. I was going to burn their empire to the ground. I contacted Mr. Ross, my father's old attorney, a brilliant, Ruthless man who hated Vivian as much as I did. Together, we built a strategy. Expose the fraudulent wills. Present the audio recordings in court. Freeze Vivian's personal assets. Reclaim control of Carter Enterprises. But I didn't stop there. Oh no. While the legal battle brewed, I used everything I learned in Seattle, finance, real estate development, and quietly started buying Carter Enterprises stock. Vivian thought she controlled the company. She didn't even realize I was buying it back, piece by piece. The day of the court hearing arrived. Vivian walked in wearing her expensive heels, confident and smug. Her lawyer tried to paint me as an ungrateful stepson. Then I played my ace. The recordings. The entire courtroom went silent as my father's voice filled the room, revealing Vivian's manipulations, her hidden accounts, and her plan to cut me out. Vivian's face drained of color. Chloe started crying. Elias swore under his breath. The judge ruled in my favor. Vivian lost everything. The money, the company shares, even the house she'd fought so hard for. Within weeks, Carter Enterprises was mine. And Vivian? She had to move out of the mansion into a cheap rental apartment. I didn't just take back what was mine. I took back our entire legacy. Today, Carter Enterprises is unrecognizable. I turned it from a greedy, profit-driven corporation into a company focused on affordable housing and community development. I renovated my childhood home and turned it into a community center, just like my mom would have wanted. I don't hate Vivian anymore. I don't need to. My revenge wasn't just taking back the company. My revenge was building the life they tried to destroy. Vivian exposed in court. Fraud revealed. Company reclaimed. Antagonist humiliated. Emotional closure for Lucian. Sometimes, revenge isn't about destroying others. It's about becoming everything they said you couldn't be. And in the end, the sweetest victory is living well. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping revenge stories every week. And let me know in the comments, what would you have done in Lucian's place? I'll be reading every single one.